The other day I was waiting in line at the Department of Motor Vehicles, the much-dreaded DMV, in need of having my driver's license renewed. The long, tedious queue was immovable, a fidgeting, twisting, single-file band of humanity shuffling along the dull, gritty linoleum floor through a zigzagging maze of vinyl and chrome barricades. One by one, vexed citizenry were called to the next available window to be confronted by dull-eyed bureaucratic functionaries. These joyless officials scrutinized their documents, only to find a form missing or incomplete, sending the peeved citizenry on their hissing, cursing way home to repeat the process again on another day when they had the proper documentation in the right order. It was its own fluorescently lit version of purgatory. As I stood in this shuffling progression of irritated humanity, I, like most around me, felt a growing frustration at this, my temporarily immovable fate. Long, irrecoverable minutes ground past. How badly I wanted to be somewhere other than here, with all these other schlubs, like me, waiting in line. Wasn't I better than this? My purpose, my time, my very presence deserving more than this plebeian fate of mediocre commonality. Civil servants working in roles of public interface are always the great equalizers of ego. In their bleary eyes, you are just another number to process. The longer I stood there, shuffling a few feet further on the worn linoleum floor in this joyless conga line of waiting humanity, I began to think about the larger picture. I wanted to be somewhere else, anywhere but here, having irreplaceable increments of my life elapsing with little purpose or meaning outside of the soul-draining process of bureaucratic inefficiency. However, could it not be argued that much of the life we live is waiting in one line or another? The whole structure of our lives is in the form of a line, at least from a Western philosophical perspective. We begin, we end, we spend the intermediary time at some point between an origin and a terminus. As I stood there, waiting with the impatient multitudes, people of every gender, color, age, and circumstance, it occurred to me, who am I, or anyone else, to think that we are more important in this line or more deserving of a shorter wait than anyone else? Waiting in line for some needed or desired outcome, ultimately we are all equal, despite the importance we place on our own individually pursued objectives. Perhaps a good wait in line is the universe's quiet reminder to us that not only are we not alone, but that we are just one among so many, each the center of their own orbit, but collectively a complex matrix, a tapestry, if you will, of intersecting cycles, a woven collective, the fabric of which unifies and unites us all in common condition. It is a great and important check to our ego if we look at waiting in line this way. We are just one among many, or collectively a great and fascinating whole of completeness. As the Buddhist saying goes, awareness begins when the wave realizes it's part of the ocean. We are all just waves traveling through this great ocean of humanity. We are somewhere along a line of greater continuity, sometimes at the beginning and other times at the end, but usually somewhere in the middle, but always part of something larger as we wait our place in line. There's a quiet comfort in this. The line existed long before we entered it, and will continue to stand long after we exit it. The line offers us valuable perspective if we can relax our ego-driven impatience and listen to its quietly offered lesson. Your turn is next. Step forward and choose a window.